Hi, everybody. Today we are going to be talking about Microsoft 365 groups as well as distribution groups. So, there are two different types of groups that you can set up inside of Outlook. One is that 365 group, which is going to be used for collaboration between users, and that can be both inside as well as outside of your company. Now, that can include collaboration services like SharePoint or Planner or OneNote. And then distribution groups on the other side are just for sending email inside of your organization. So I'm going to show you how to set up both of them. And to get started, I'm going to share my screen and take a look at Outlook. So if you want to follow along, that's where we're going to be. All right, so right now we're looking at Outlook, and I'm going to jump over onto my contacts, which is over here. Move that little screen out of the way. And we're going to set up a new group. And that, again, that group is that 365 group, the one that you can use to collaborate with other people inside your organization as well as outside of your organization. So we're going to set up a new group. Click on that. We're going to give that group a name. In this case, I'm going to name this one Agents of Shield, just because it sounds cool. 365 is automatically going to put an email address in for you. So the group email address, it'll show you exactly what it is. If you have something close in your organization already, it'll tell you that that email address is not available and you just need to adjust it a little bit. So if for any reason you see a little red X there, just adjust the email address a tad and that'll adjust the problem for you. As you are adding people to this, they will get a little description as they're added to the group. So if it is not evident by the name of the group, you may want to put a description in so they understand why they've been added to the group and what that group is all about. And then you want to talk about the privacy for just a moment here. Private means only members of this particular group can see what's inside. That's usually why you make a group, but you can make it public as well so that anybody in your organization can see the group content. There might be a reason for you to do that, but just so you know, there is public and private, and that's the difference between the two. And then this little checkbox here says send all group email and events to members' inboxes, and then they can change the setting later. And I'll show you where you can change that. But basically, what that means is as you make changes to the group, whether it's email or you put a calendar appointment in or something like that, everybody gets notified that that has happened. All right, so we're going to create our group. And then we're going to start adding members to it. Now you'll see right here at the top, it says add colleagues, which means people inside of your organization. If you already have 365 groups, you can actually add a group to a group. If you have a distribution group or a distribution list, you can add that to a group, or you can add guests from the outside world. So in this case, I'm just going to add somebody from my organization. So I'm going to add David. Once you have your member list created, all you need to do is click Add Members, and it will simply add them to your group. So there it is. We've now created the Agents of Shield. And if you take a look down on my inbox, down at the very bottom, there's this place called Groups. And inside of there, you're going to see Agents of Shield. Now, I'm also going to get an email that says, hey, by the way, welcome to the Agents of Shield group. How cool is that? You can view the group in Outlook. Now, as you go down through, you'll see that you can do conversations, you can keep documents and attachments, things along that line, all in one spot. You can all stay on the same page, which means you're collaborating, so on and so forth. But yeah, you can do all of this inside of 365. You can even use groups with Planner, which is kind of cool. But let's get back to the group itself. So on the group, it's going to tell us, hey, this is a private group. If we look over on the side, it tells us what two members are actually a part of this. If we click on the name of the actual group over here or the little icon, it gives us some additional information. It tells us about the group, what the email address is, who the members are. If we click on members, it will tell us who the members are as well. It'll tell me all about Dave. If there are other folks in my organization that think that it should get added to it, it'll tell me who they are, which is kind of cool. But also at the top up here, it'll allow me to send an email to Agents of Shield, just like that. And I can start my subject, put my email information in, and send that should I need to. I'm not going to save my changes here, and I don't really need to send that, but there is a calendar as well. If we click on that, we get the calendar for Agents of Shield to tell us what's going on at any given time. And it is an Outlook calendar instead of a SharePoint one. So it technically exists inside of Outlook and not SharePoint. We have the ability to open the group SharePoint up, and that's going to actually open in a separate window. So while that's doing that, we can also look at some of the other things that it's doing. We can add the Agents of Shield to our contacts, so it's right there at our fingertips. We can spin up a planner directly from here. We can edit the group, or we can unsubscribe to the list should we need to. So let's take a look at the editing options because there are some things in here that you should be aware of. Again, you can change the privacy if you need to. You could add people at any time. You can delete the group if you need to get rid of it. You can allow people outside the organization to email the group. Now, if you are inviting people from outside of your organization in, the only way that they can email this group is if they have this turned on. So you may need to turn that on. It is not turned on by default. Right? And we did decide that we were going to subscribe new members so that they automatically receive the group email in their inbox. Otherwise, they'll only ever see it down here over on your left-hand side in the group. Unless this is turned on, they will not get emails actually into their inbox. They will only see them down here in the group. All right. So that's it. That's how the actual groups work inside of Outlook. Hopefully that was very helpful. And if you have any questions, by all means, you can reach me at drsizer at 3rdelementconsulting.com. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.